Another one that doesn't have a author's page. This Quiet Riot is the next author. And they wrote, just clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. Man, what a childhood memory that song is. Do people even do kindergartens even still sing that? Do they even still sing head, shoulders, knees and toes? Or is that like a forgotten I don't have a better word than ritual. You know, I feel like most kindergarten kids learned if you're happy, you know, clap your hands, and head, shoulders, knees and toes, like, you know. I remember the good old days of that. Alright, one more time. Just clap your hands, as I said. Object class safe. For special containment procedures. Individual instances of SCP-2142 require no special containment procedures and are be stored in a bulk storage unit at Site 33. Testing of SCP-2142 may only occur in soundproof testing chambers of Class 3 or higher. Although individual instances of SCP-2142 can be stored with minimal upkeep, SCP-2142's methods of propagation or generation are not currently understood. MDF Delta 7 Psi Fatality is assigned the task of identifying, intercepting, and cataloging individuals instances of SCP-2142. MDF Delta 7 is authorized to employ Class B amnestics and administer corrective procedure 27 in civilian population as they deem necessary. Oh, that's a big footnote. Corrective procedure 27 is a foundation-developed medical process that involves inserting a sterilized needle into the patient's ear canal. The surgeon's goal is for the needle to penetrate a depth sufficient for puncturing the patient's eardrum, rendering the patient permanently deaf. Corrective procedure 27 has so far proven to be the only effective cure for SCP-2142's effects. Is it like a She-Hulk or She-Hulk / Hulk clap where like the eardrums get busted? First, discombobulate. And then discombobulate. Research into SCP-2142 and its effects should focus on identifying songs, albums, and not just like to be an infection vector for SCP-2142. Foundation personnel exposed to SCP-2142 and determined to be under its effects can opt to undergo corrective procedure 27 and be reassigned to another project. Personnel who will not consent to corrective procedure 27 are instead to report to Site 33's resident psychiatrist for a mandatory monthly evaluation and lessons in lucid dreaming techniques. Okay. Description: SCP-2142 designates any compact disc 78% of known instances, vinyl recording 80% or cassette tape 4%, which induces the Lavinia complex, an anomalous psychological disorder in the listener. And here we have another footnote. Name for the article that first described the condition. Nadim, the Lavinia complex, American Journal of Psychiatry, 5th March 1999. I guess that's supposed to be 1,800 instances of SCP-2142 are currently in containment, with an unknown quantity of additional instances existing outside of containment. Listeners exposed to SCP-2142 will suffer from an anomalous sleep disorder dubbed the Lavinia complex by its discoverer. So it's a sleep disorder. Dr. Nadim. Okay. Through Dr. Nadim discovered the Lavinia complex and brought it to the Foundation attention by publishing his article in the American Journal of Psychiatry. He did not discover the connection between SCP-2142 and the disorder. This connection was later made by the Foundation's in-house research team. Dr. Nadim was offered a position as a junior researcher for SCP-2142, but opted for a dose of Class B amnestics instead. Individuals suffering from a Lavinia complex invariably dream about consuming the metacarpals and carpals of their own hand, along with all attendant flesh, tendons, and muscle tissue. Okay. But you kinda need these hands. Subjects describe these dreams as vivid and unsettling. Yeah, I mean, It would be do they taste good? I'm just asking. Those sufferings from the complex also report anxiety, insomnia, and hypnophobia. Subjects tend to dread sleeping for any length of time. Of the Lavinia complex, sufferers from the Foundation has been able to interview. Subjects report that they dream every night, regardless of the length of their sleep. Even subjects who sleep for less than 90 minutes wake up to report nightmares involving self-cannibalization of the subject's hand. 9 minutes is not long enough for a non-anomalous, neurotypical human brain to enter REM sleep. The dreams fit two major narratives. Welcome, Tourist Johnson. How are you doing? Welcome to Fluff. What is SCP-2140? So from what I understood, it's an effect and it's an image that makes you believe you're part of the Foundation. And they, from the looks of it, they used it on D class to make them a whole bunch of Foundation members, which, who knows what the reason is? Who knows what the reason is why they did that? But that was SCP-2140, and 2141 is a giant earthworm that is very overprotective, overprotective / possessive over a woman that belonged to, well, she was married and then the guy died because he sacrificed himself, and then the giant earthworm came to existence, and now the woman's slowly becoming like a giant earthworm. And I've seen like she has the speed and the slickness of the giant earthworm. And now we're reading 2142, which seems to be an effect, well, it's a disc that that gives you nightmares of like trying to eat your own hands. But hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much, and I'm very happy that you got to join. I assume you're from the SCP Discord, because I did say that I cannot see his name right now, but I did talk to somebody saying that I'm going to start reading 2140 today. So I was very excited for it, and I will say 2140 was pretty good, pretty exciting, because it makes you question. It makes you question like who's responsible for it, how much do they know? But yeah, let's continue reading 2140, shall we? Alright. Yeah, we have the whole self-cannibalization. Okay, now here we go. The dreams fit two major narratives. Type A dreams are vivid, gruesome, and detailed, consisting solely of the subject's consumption of their own hands. Other details of the dream, such as where the dream occurred and whether or not the dreamer was alone, fade from the memory when the subject awakens. Typical individuals suffering from the Lavinia complex report that 90% or more of the dreams are Type A. I wonder if that could be something that like happens in real life. Like, I wonder like if out of all 8 billion people that live on this planet, if a couple hundred people it's like, yeah, I once dreamt of like eating my own hands. Like, I wonder if that's like, it must have happened, right? With how wild dreams are, at least I would say at least one person has dreamt of like on their own hand and just be like, delicious. I taste like cotton candy. I don't know. I'm just saying. The chance is there. Type B dreams have wildly divergent narratives, but always end with the dreamer consuming or able to consume their hands. Then shortly after waking. For example, one subject described exploring a tropical island and meeting friendly natives that invited him to feast. I have a feeling where this is going. The feast's main course was revealed to be several charred human hands, skewered through the palms on wooden stakes. The subject then noticed that his own hands had been severed at the wrist before he awoke. Some Lavinia complex sufferers never experienced a Type B dream, but most experience a Type B dream at least once in their lifetime. Subjects that profess to be lucid dreamers report much higher rates of Type B. That must suck. Type B dreams, with over 60% of their dreams following the Type B narrative. I want a lucid dream so bad, but if lucid dream would mean I would have a higher guarantee of having a Type B dream type scenario, I'd be like, I would hate the fact that I could do it. You know, I'd be like, great, fantastic. I can control my dreams, but now I'm dreaming of my hands getting chopped off. Like, that happens apparently quite often. So that is just fun. SCP-2142 has only been discovered to affect album recordings by a limited number of artists. Additionally, only certain tracks appear to trigger the Lavinia complex in listeners, while other tracks may only induce the anomalous disorder after repeated exposure. The footnotes in this one are fucking massive. Onset of the Lavinia complex is easy to diagnose, as the disorder initially presents with an intense headache lasting several hours. Subject described this initial onset of symptoms as being similar to being punched in the head, or like someone is flicking at my brain, or digging fingernails into my brain. Lovely. All of them, yeah. Below is a list of all songs and albums known to potentially be instances of SCP-2142. Current known potential SCP-2142 vessels: album The Lonesome Crowd West by the artist Modest Mouse, date of discovery 1999. Details: in affected albums, track 13, Polar Opposites, appears to be an ideal host for SCP-2142, triggering the Lavinia complex in 100% of all listeners. Ugh. You just want to enjoy some music and then you get eating your own hand nightmares. Sad Sappy Sucker, also by Modest Mouse, 2001. In affected albums, track 2, Four Fingered Fisherman, and track 13, Red Hand Case. So here we have like songs that all have the reference of hands. Induced the Lavinia complex, approximately 23% of listeners. After this was discovered, was designed POY, person of interest -1. I assume that's supposed to be Modest Mouse, maybe? Or maybe somebody else, who knows. Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon Garfunkel, 2002. Track 3, Cecilia, appears to be an ideal SCP-2142 host, again triggering the Lavinia complex in 100% of listeners. Upon discovery, designation as POY-1 was rescinded. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I Want to Shake Your Hand! The Beatles, 2002. The eponymous track appeared to be the ideal host in the original 1963 recording, infecting 100% of subjects listening to affected albums. The song itself has proven to be potentially host for SCP-2142, even in later reprintings or when featured on compilation albums, resulting in infection rates of approximately 34% in those instances. All albums and songs. 2005. The studio recordings of an indie rock band appear to be a highly recent source of SCP-2142 instances. The band's entire discography serves as a potential host for instances of SCP-2142, with 32% of listeners developing the Lavinia complex after exposure to affected albums. Track 1, Clap Your Hands, of the band's eponymous debut album is known as having an infection rate of 100%. The members of may be designated as POY-2, currently pending O5 approval. The Fruit That Ate Itself, Modest Mouse, 2010. Track 4, Dirty Fingernails, makes sense, is a very weak host for SCP-2142, with affected albums inducing Lavinia complex in only 11% of listeners. Redesignated as POY-1, is currently pending O5's approval. And now the last one, Songs for Children Volume. Various uncredited artists, 2011. Track 3, If You're Happy You Know It, Clap Your Hands, was discovered to be a highly effective SCP-2142 host, infecting 100% of listeners exposed to affected albums. That sucks. Imagine you were just listening to like a little childhood song, or like, you know, you're in a kindergarten and like your kindergarten's like, okay, we go play a little song and you all go participate. And next thing you know, all those kids have nightmares of eating their own hands. That would, like, how would the kid explain it to the mom or the parents, and how would the parents explain it, like try to like justify that themselves, and then you're like, okay, for some reason my kid has nightmares about their hands, and the only thing that was different yesterday was that they listened to a song, If You're Happy You Know It, but why would that, like, and then we just talk to the teachers, like, hey, did my kid like experience something traumatic during one of the lessons? And the teacher's like, no, not that I know of. Not only that, imagine an entire kindergarten, like 20 kids. That means 20 kids' parents will just suddenly show up one day and be like, hey, ever since yesterday, my kid has nightmares of eating their own hands, and everybody, all the parents are like, my kid too. Yeah, that could quickly. Luckily, they found all some of the tracks, because that could have quickly like developed into like horrible stuff if they didn't.